Hi. It's too serious. Right. Hi. My name's Keem, and I've made a channel called Keem with Crohn's because I want to talk about zoology, modern art, and Queen Elizabeth. No, obviously, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I say obviously, it's not that obvious. People keep telling me that I don't look ill, which I'm sure other people have probably heard. People telling you look fine, so it's quite irritating actually. Already we've gathered that this channel is going to be all over the place because I'm not one of those people that's going to spend ages editing the videos. And like, you know, those people that look perfect and they blink and there's sound effects and they do that thing where they point and there's a bubble. And not, I can't bother with any of that. I just wanted to make somewhere for me to rant about Crohn's disease, find other people that know about it, find out what works for them, share what works with me, and just see what happens really. If there's random changes, it's because I've chopped this video off a million times to get rid of the hours of time where I just sit here thinking, what am I even doing? So for me, this all started, well, for years I've had problems with my stomach. Like I'd eat food, I'd feel a bit sick, and get like occasional pains in my stomach and all that stuff. And then I'd say it, and people will look at you like, oh god, he's a fussy eater, which I do. Or even now I have Crohn's disease. Someone says they've got a stomach problem, and I'm like, oh god, dramatics. For those of you that don't know what Crohn's disease is, I don't really know. I might use my assistant. Alexa, what is Crohn's disease?
Crohn's disease is a type of inflammatory bowel disease that may affect any part of the gastrointestinal tract from mouth to anus.
I still laugh when I hear the word anus, sorry. I'm a child. So yeah, there we go. That was Alexa's little brief description of Crohn's disease, although I feel like if you're watching this video, you probably already know what it is. But yeah, I went to the doctors a few times, backwards and forwards, and kept getting told that I looked fine, and that's all I ever get told is that I look well. So they send me on my way. Then in August, around my birthday, because I'm very lucky like that, I got quite ill with diarrhea. I know this is getting glamorous. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's talking about diarrhea already." That's what we wanted to know about. And it lasted 7 days, like throughout the week. Just every time I ate, I needed the toilet. I'd run to the toilet, and then I'd have to go again like 10 times a day. It was ridiculous. Um, and then I went to the doctors again. The first doctor I saw, she looked at me and did an investigation, prod in my stomach, and said that I looked fine. So by that point, I just started thinking, oh my god, I've come to the doctors with food poisoning, and I'm gonna look insane, and this is gonna be embarrassing. So I kept saying I was having pain on the right side, because that's where I still get pain there. And then she was like, okay, well, you seem fine. Did a urine test. I said that came back fine. Asked me if I took drugs or drank. And I said I've been drinking because it's my birthday, so I think she was just looking at me like, oh, okay, he's got a hangover. And then she said she was going to go get a surgeon to have a look at me, just in case. Which I just thought, oh, this is complete overkill. They're going to send surgeons, and the surgeons are going to be like, why have you sent us to see this guy who's just hungover and can't stop shitting himself because he's just partied for 7 days? This surgeon, who was absolutely lovely, does an examination on me. They took some blood, and then they came back about an hour later, and she said, "Oh, you've got half your results back. You look okay. We think it might be an appendicitis that's building, so that's why you're not in horrendous pain. So we're going to do a CT scan just to check." And she said, "By the time you come back from that, we'll have the rest of your results." So they sent me away to have this scan, and she came to find me and said, I need to speak to you in a side room. And at that point, I was like, wait a second, I thought I just had like a stomach bug. I thought you were going to give me that. What's that when everyone takes amoxicillin? They take it like Tic Tacs when they got a sore throat. But they give me that, send me on my way, and I'd be like, oh, that was just such a funny time. So she sent me in a side room and said that she thought it could either be my appendix was swollen or maybe inflamed bowels. And then she said that it was both because I'm really lucky. If I'm going to get ill, I'm not going to do one. I have to do two because I'm that kind of person. So I was a bit sitting there like, what does that even mean? And she explained that it was IBD, more likely to be Crohn's disease, but this is like the appendix thing is not connected to it. That's something else. I'm just unlucky. And that look, there was like a big report they read out to me. I don't remember a lot of it because I was just sitting like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And then she was saying how I'll have more investigations. I'm gonna have to see a dietitian and all of this stuff. Um, and then she didn't really explain what Crohn's disease was, so I was still a bit confused. She just said that it looks like that's what I've got, and I was gonna have to have an MRI scan. This was all in August. Um, and then they put me on some intravenous antibiotics to try and calm my symptoms down and get rid of the diarrhea and the stomach pains and all of that stuff, and told me to just watch my diet. I didn't really get any more information other than that. I was just told, watch your diet, I use antibiotics, we'll do some investigations, and then they sent me away. And I was off work for about 3 4 weeks because it took ages for these antibiotics to do anything. Even though I didn't really, I still kept having bits of diarrhea, but the pain stopped. Living with that for a while, having these investigations, and I went for an MRI scan, which was an unpleasant experience. Nobody told me that they were like, you have to drink this fluid if it's like your bowels. I had to drink like 2 liters of this clear liquid that made me feel like I was going to vomit with an audience of people in the waiting area because they came out and told me, oh, you need to drink all of this before the scan. So I had strangers cheering me on, which sounds like you'd be like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I want, but oh my god, like, especially because they said to me it might make you need to go to the toilet, and I was like, well, if you said it might, with me it normally does. So then I was running off to the toilet, and I knew that everybody watching me knew, oh, he's gone to do a shit, and I'd have to walk back out like, hi everyone, and then carrying on with my little sideshow drinking the liquid. Then I went in and had that MRI. That took about 45 minutes. And then I was told, yeah, you'll hear something in about 3 weeks. We'll tell you what's going on. And then we'll set you up with whatever, if it is Crohn's. And then either the guy doing the scan actually said to me, yeah, so you have Crohn's disease. And I was like, oh, no, that's what this investigation's for. And then he just looked at me like, oh, okay. So I feel like he already is said on the thing, oh, yeah, he's got Crohn's. We're just doing this to just say, yeah, that's what he's got. And then all was like just pretty calm. My symptoms weren't so bad. I would go to the toilet quite frequently, but it wasn't diarrhea. Watching what I was eating, and that all changed on Friday, so a week ago, because today's Friday, so it was this time last week. So I went to work. Everything was normal. I had like a bit of pain in the morning, but it wasn't too bad. And then we sat down for breakfast. We were all sitting down having breakfast, and somebody brought in donuts. And I was like, oh, donuts, plain donuts. What could a donut do to me? It's not spicy, it's not alcohol, it's not. So I have this donut with sprinkles on, living the dream, thinking this is the greatest donut I've ever had in my life. It wasn't. But in that moment, I was like, yes, donuts. I started getting sharp pain in my stomach and thinking, oh, okay, all Pat, it's just a bit uncomfortable. Next time I won't eat donuts. And then this went on for like 2 hours, and the pain would get a little bit more painful. It was like a little throb, and then it would stop, and then it'd be like an ache. And then by about 12 o'clock, so everyone starts having lunch, and then the smell of food starts to make me feel a bit sick, and I was just like, oh, what is wrong with me? Because I've had donuts before, and I've had a bit of discomfort, but I've never felt physically sick. Then by like 1 o'clock, I couldn't walk. I was just holding my stomach, just drinking water, just in like agony, and trying to play it cool because I'm one of those people, I can't just say there's something wrong. I don't like making everyone else worry. I worry more about everyone else's reaction than my own. And so I'm sitting and saying, oh no, I'm fine, they're trying to send me home. And then eventually by like 2 o'clock, I'm in just so much pain. And also, embarrassing parts aside, I did try and go to the toilet for the old number 2 in between these moments of being like, what is wrong with my stomach? Because I thought maybe if I go to the toilet, this will end. And then I would just have been like, okay, I was just clogged up. So work sent me home in a taxi, and I got home. So this is now like 2 o'clock. So this has been going on like 4 hours, and I'm pacing around my room in a lot of pain, trying to, because they say sometimes if you walk it stops the pain. It doesn't. When people tell you that, just ignore them. Oh my god, it was horrendous. So then I just lie on the bed and just lie there thinking, just die. So just let me die in peace. And then it's building and building and building. This pain's getting worse. It starts to feel like my stomach is just gonna pop or something. So I ring 111 and explain to them like I've been investigated for Crohn's disease and I have issues with my stomach and stuff like that. And then they said, oh, just track the pain, see what happens. Like book a GP appointment. And I was like, well, great, okay, so that's no help to me at all. So I went. Then I hung up the phone and I didn't feel sick. I just felt in a lot of pain. And then I literally just sat bolt upright and just vomited just all over the floor. and then I had to run and slide through it. I like giving you these details, these nice details that you want to know. Sliding through my own sick into the bathroom, vomit in the toilet. I literally couldn't stop. I just kept being sick, being sick. But then every time I was sick, it hurt my stomach because I was getting pain anyway. So it's obviously squeezing pain. So then I come out of the toilet thinking, well, now I've been sick, I'll be better, because that's normally what happens is you get it out, then you feel better. And I still just felt horrible. The pain was still getting worse and getting worse and getting worse. So I started to panic more. So I rang 111 again and said to them, I've been sick and the pain hasn't gone. I'm still in a lot of pain and my stomach feels really solid to touch. They asked some more questions. Said that a paramedic was going to call me back. But if I didn't answer, like if they tried to call me, like I think it was they were going to call twice, and if I didn't answer, they would send an ambulance. They tried to call me, and I missed it because I was being sick again. So then I was waiting for this call, and then I answered it, and then was sick whilst holding the phone. But because it got to the point where nothing's coming out, I was just retching, and it was just still all this pain. And then they sent an ambulance. I just kind of collapsed back onto my bed. I was covered in sweat. I couldn't get up. I was like shaking. And then these paramedics come and they do all these tests on me, and I explain to them that I'm being tested for Crohn's disease and it's still ongoing. And then they take me down and put me in the ambulance and give me like gas in there and everything. And I just remember the paramedic saying to me, "This probably isn't Crohn's disease related because you're not sick with Crohn's disease." I remember that he distinctly said that to me. You wouldn't be throwing up if it was Crohn's disease. And I just felt again like, oh God, I've wasted everyone's time. I've got food poisoning and I'm gonna look like an idiot. So I get to the hospital, they take me to A&E and say to me, you'll probably be out by like 1 a.m. They'll make you feel better, send you on your way. I explained again about Crohn's investigations. God, sorry, it's all a bit jumbled because I was just out of it. I literally felt like I was like gonna die. They gave me like a load of anti-nausea intravenous drugs and really good painkillers, which were just so good. I felt like I was having the time of my life. Like I keep falling in and out of sleep, and then I wake up. There's a doctor literally standing in this little bay that I've been put in, and he explains that I do have Crohn's disease because he looked at the MRI scan that they'd done that I had to wait 3 weeks for. I don't know why, if they already had the results. And he said that they've also seen that because of extensive tissue damage, because of me, I must have had it a while, it's caused damage to my intestine, and they're not sure if it's permanent damage or if it's damage from like the inflammation, where it's gone really narrow and they're almost like some parts of it stuck to each other, and that's causing me extreme pain when food's digesting, and can cause blockages, which makes me sick. So that's why I was throwing up. So if anybody ever tells you that you can't throw up from Crohn's disease, it's a lie. I've lived it. It is horrendous. So tell them to, I won't swear, but it rhymes with, and you know what, no, I won't swear. He's frustrated because they've not started me on any kind of treatment to bring the inflammation down. They just sent me away last time, knowing they were investigating it, but they didn't do anything to start the thing. And this isn't me knocking them, this is me just saying what he said, because I have no idea what the normal process should be. So I get admitted into hospital. So I'm told I'm going to stay for the night just to monitor my symptoms, and we'll see what happens. And then a gastro doctor will come and see me in the morning, and explain to me what it means to have Crohn's disease and what the treatments might be. And that one night turned into me being discharged on the Tuesday. So I went in on the Friday and I was kept there till Tuesday, and I saw so many different specialists, nurses and doctors about Crohn's disease, and they explained to me what it is and all of this stuff, and it was really overwhelming. And I think I still not really sunk in. I'm telling this story and I keep talking about it like it didn't happen to me, because I imagine and I feel like, no, it didn't happen. So I got given steroid injections to bring my inflammation down, and then they gave me this stuff, so all this medication that is going to last me the next 8 weeks, and that is more steroids, which have all kinds of fun side effects, vitamins, because I have loads of vitamin deficiencies because I've been living with this for a couple of months and it wasn't diagnosed, so nobody was replacing any of the things that I wasn't getting, and like a load of information about diets and things and what I should and shouldn't eat. And I also got given this little Crohn's welcome pack, which I always smile when I pick it up because what I like about it is that everyone on it looks really happy. So like the little couple, this couple here, they are just like having the greatest time. Now that we don't know if both of them or one of them has Crohn's, but they love it. And then this here as well. Look at them. They're brilliant, absolutely wonderful. I'm so happy that I get to read about Crohn's disease. But my favourite is this lady in the end who represents me, because I do not want this. I would like to be one of those people that you could watch and I'll be like, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna run marathons. We're gonna walk up mountains. I'm gonna kiss babies and be like Crohn's disease. I don't want it. It's pissed me off already. I love spicy food. I like going out for drinks with my friends. I love pizza. I've been told I can't do any of that at the moment, and we'll see how it goes. Um, so yeah, I mean, I didn't know it could get that bad. So if you have been told you may have it, and they tell you not to eat certain foods, then probably listen to them. Stick to it better than I did. Like if you're not sure, then just don't eat it, because the last week was horrendous, and I don't ever want to get to that again. And I basically made this channel just to moan. This is what I do, is just moan. But also because I feel like I don't really know much about it other than what I've been given, my little welcome pack, which I still need to read through. So it'd be nice to find other people who are in the same boat as I am, that are just a bit unsure about it and just like, you know what, fuck Crohn's, it's shit. But we can all say that together and be like, fuck it, we've got it. We can't change it, but we can moan about it, because otherwise, what else can you do? I need to moan about it. But it gets a bit depressing if I just go on at my friends all the time. I think they get sick of hearing me moan. It's only been a week and I'm just like, oh, life. Oh. But it's not that bad. I'm very lucky in the sense that like people keep telling me I don't look ill. There's just moments when I feel like crap. I've also noticed that I'm tired all the time. I started to feel that months ago, but now at least I know I'm not just lazy. It is just like my body is constantly attacking itself, so that's why I feel very tired. Um, so yeah, if any out there have Crohn's, being diagnosed with Crohn's, or just a Crohn's enthusiast, which would be bizarre, then yeah, I look forward to hearing from some of you. I'll probably do like weekly diary entries talking about my failures, because they will be mainly failures with food. I'd like to say my triumphs, but as we know, or as you've heard, me eating a donut almost killed me. So who knows how this could go.